multiple engineers that we can go to on a basis, and if the EMI deems it appropriate to submit their RFP for that, and any other engineers, we could do that. And that would be, again, an RFP service where we would review and make a recommendation to City Council. We'd probably pick 3 or 4 engineers that we could have on call.
Gotcha. Thank you. And it was mentioned earlier about the category for legal going up. Can I clarify, because it was a little hard to hear, is it going up by $84,000 from 2019 to 2020? In this format, it's just harder to hear.
No, it's going up. I don't know the exact percentage, I'd have to look at the numbers, but we are anticipating more legal fees this year than we had last year, than we had the previous year. It is escalating.
It is an $84,000 increase.
It is an 84 increase?
That's what I thought I heard.
Correct.
From, so from what for 2019?
That's an increase of 84,000. 2019 was 24,000.
Yeah, 24,000 for city and legal fees is unheard of.
Oh, not necessarily, but okay, from my experience. So, okay, we were at 24,000, was that the proposed or revised on 2019?
I have the amended budget up. That is the amended budget.
It is amended, okay,
Now, we
gotcha.
will come to council for an end of year kind of cleanup amendment, but I don't anticipate a lot of changes.
Okay. Only as it relates to that is how many, legal situations are we in right now? Do we anticipate this is gonna go up?
We can't anticipate.
Well, I didn't know what the 84,000,
Part of that, for me, that's just a conservative budget approach. Anytime you come with development, the village, trees, I mean, there's lots of different things. And for me, it's just a conservative approach to say, okay, this is what we estimated in 19, if I put an inflationary factor in and add a little bit because of the risk of the uncertainty of not knowing. Those areas, I put a little more conservative budgeting in than in other areas because there's that uncertainty.
sure, I mean, because more than tripling, usually that would have to have had something, something, instead of a swag, but.
This is my first full year here. I came in October of last year, and so last year's budget was a bit of a, learning experience getting to know the organization. In all reality, 24,000 probably isn't the real number for 19.
Right.
So we're probably looking at less of an increase than what it appears as right now, but we can always look at that.
Gotcha.
Because we spread it, we spread it out now.
Absolutely. Okay, and then the last question is regarding, multi-pronged, is what is the percent of the salary allowance? What percent of the salary allowance has been paid in overtime this year? And does the proposed budget allow for overtime, and any percent, how much?
What we're trying to do is create staffing issues where we limit overtime. Overtime is not something we want to do for a lot of our staff because we want to have them work in the normal work week so they can spend time with their family and friends and whatnot. So we do have time in our budget for overtime because there are emergency issues that come up that we need individuals here. But a lot of our staff that are salary right now, we're looking at the opportunity to move, or a lot of our staff that are hourly, we're looking at if we can move them to salary and balance out some of the issues we have with our staffing costs. Increasing some staff will take some weight off of some of the other individuals because right now we're severely understaffed, in my professional opinion, and we're working to fill those gaps, which would lower the amount of required overtime.
Okay. And how much of the Coulter advanced tax fees have been received, and are they on time? And
I don't know the exact number, but they
They're
are
on
on
time.
time. There's a,
I think they're ahead one. And they were like 124,000 a hit. Isn't that right? Or 124,000 a hit.
yeah, there was, when they got approved for their development, there was a timeline and a fee schedule that was presented and agreed upon, and they have continued to meet that timeline without any issues. There was a question whether they were ahead or not, but there was a difference between previously proposed schedule and the approved schedule. The approved schedule says they're on time, the proposed one is irrelevant because they didn't have time.
Final little component of that, do these fees appear in the revenue stream, or does the pie chart show the anticipated tap fees apart from Coulter? And if not, can you, so that we can, as the community, kind of see what's, since Coulter is such a significant portion of it, is there any way to differentiate?
So the tap fees will have all been received in fiscal year 19, including a portion, so of the 2.5 million that we'll receive from them, 776,250, don't quote me on the pennies on that, it represents tap fees, and so we will have received over that amount in fiscal year 19. I'm recognizing the tap fees first. So we'll have recognized all of the prepaid tap fees received in fiscal year 19, and everything in 20 will represent developer contribution. And again, those go in a segregated account for expansion.
It's in our water sewer.
Yep, a restricted account.
Those restricted accounts in that budget. So we have used, when all the monies go in there, which dollars have we used? You know, we've used all kinds of dollars.
Yeah, all of the capital expansion dollars go in one account. I couldn't necessarily tell you what development, is spent on what. Tell you who we got it from, but I can't tell you what necessarily where it goes, because it all goes into one expansion.
So we are utilizing funds that come in, our revenues for our expenses, yes.
Anything else, Arma?
No, the Darby building eye-popping thing was clarified, so that was the last.
Yeah, I saw that, I'm over here going, well, I don't remember this part.
I tried to make that a real, tried to throw some money
He
into
did.
it.
Yeah,
So.
we
thank
love
you.
our
If you
Darby
have
building, we
additional
just didn't know
questions-
what.
yeah.
Right.
If you have additional questions, send
Right.
it to me
I
and
sure
Rachel
will.
will go.
Thanks.
And then we have another individual.
Yes, Karen?
I'm here.
Okay.
Actually, what Mr. Cleveland brought up about the water pressure,
Uh-huh,
that was my
okay.
question about that.
Did Justin answer your question adequately?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because,
we're basically in a nutshell, again, to reiterate very briefly,
Just
we're
some-
looking at options to increase it short
Uh-huh.
term before we get our water towers up.
there it goes.
Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, I'll need a motion to,
Motion to adjourn the voting.
well,
Close the hearing.
close the hearing.
Close the hearing.
Thank you. Second? Thanks, got 2 seconds there, you got that, Jennifer? Okay, and all in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, is there anything else y'all wanna talk about on the budget, y'all feel good?
Just give me details, but I feel better.
Okay,
Yeah, we will.
I've
We can
got
do
the
that.
list here.
okay, now we need to take our, you got me another piece of paper?
We need to close this meeting and then adjourn
Okay.
this meeting and then start.
And then you're gonna give me something.
Yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Second.
Thanks, for everybody in favor. Sounds great, okay.
It's gonna take me a minute to hand out the paperwork for this. Those people that don't wanna stay for the next meeting, feel free to head on out. But the next meeting is actually going to be for the vendor recommendations for the residential solid waste and recycling collection services.
Restroom
Need
open
to
for anybody
use
that
a
needs it back there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a restroom right back there, if anybody needs to go.